All right. Now, when it comes to this subject, you got to make sure you have a badge. It's a tough, touchy subject that needs tough areas to really get things sped up. Usually, to get a kid in line, a parent usually gets a little angry, a little tougher, you see, to speed up what keeps continuing when you're too nice. Right? But something needs to change. Right? So, I've just done this little post here. It may have been seen. If it was seen, it was meant to be seen, as far as I'm concerned. But not meant to be attacked. It's freedom of speech, and there's no violence within something to get a point across, and it had hardly any fans or no fans. Right? When you post up things that can get instantly fans, millions of fans, thousands of fans, then you got to be a little bit careful what you say in public, as they say. But I say certain things because I'm in a certain situation, right? And I don't have all these fans, and I can debate this when it comes to court, which will be a sad story to ever try to use things for court when I don't have a certain fan base. I don't have clips long enough to get a certain fan base on certain things for a reason. And I try not to spread or cause things that I know that people without more conversation won't understand. That's why I talk about a badge, because some things need to be continued, but if they're blocked, it'll only cause more issues. It's said, can't be fixed. Huh? So I just posted this. So that's what I was just talking about. Now I'm going to put it on public. Wanted to go through it, put some comments, some extra. It allows, if things were meant to be heard for somewhere, for something, even this clip might mean something. Might make people go, what was that about? And so on. Perhaps a little bit more about what I've said around it as well. There goes that cough. I had to redo a video before about that cough because it likes to tend to come in on certain things. Just annoy you when you go to say certain things or do certain things. But anyway. And when the news people go to speak, I can't. So let's grab this one here. It's got 4 views. I think I played it twice, so perhaps 2 people have seen it. Believe me or not, but that's what it says there. And why it's there, as I've talked about, doing a little bit of what I've seen other people do. You can have a conversation, put out something, give a chance to something, message in a bottle, whatever. But then you can remove it. Right? You don't have to leave things up if you don't want to. Definitely if you want to hide something naughty, as I've talked about in previous clips that I've seen people do. Say, get this clip. Well, I've got what I need out of it right now. And I've pretty much said why I left it up for a little bit. It also allows me to comment. Can't comment when it's on private. Doesn't allow you to do that, sadly. There should be a little private thing there, but I guess I'm different and weird, as some people would say, because I comment to myself. Right? But I'm using this as a diary. Right? And you like to put comments in it, so it's not meant to be a diary. But I'm trying to use it as a diary. But there's certain things you can't do. So there you go. As I said, it's a good spot to load up and store information. And to speak to certain people if you need to speak to certain people, privately or not. It's just sad that YouTube also gets used in other ways. Everything can be used in positive and negative, and we've got to try to get through those areas, and hopefully the negative doesn't bother us too much. That's when it comes denying us, when it comes to positive and negative. They need to stay away from each other a little bit more. Would create a better balance than be too close to each other. And so it creates wars. It's like North Korea and Korea next to each other. You got negative and positive so close. What happens? It causes chaos constantly, isn't it? Anyway, have a good one out there. That's what I've loaded up recently. Playlist. It's a pity I couldn't keep it up. Like I said, I'd usually get attacked, and I've got a team and certain issues to worry about attacks all the time in certain areas. So I make things a little easier so the attacks are a little less, as I could say, because things will happen anyway. But as I was giving advice to others, you still got to try to at least speak. The last thing you do, in the end, if you believe you've spoken, you've got the proof of speaking, and you can show the people the proof of speaking instead of just he say, they say. So that's why we have history. Get back on that history and keep using it and show them that they're a fool, and don't let them run off in debates when you go to give them one, even though they don't like it, and all that kind of stuff. I see people can do more of that today before violence. And they're running off, and then you get violent and you let them win. That's what they do. It's a little trick of theirs. Notice the tricks they do to twist things and to make you look bad, even though that you're doing actions that they do. You got to show what they are. The best way to get rid of these enemies is to try to show that truth, and they try to hide it. Right? Don't allow anything or do too much unless you can show that truth. Otherwise, don't trust. Right? This is what I've been doing recently. And have a good one, eh? What? I'll quickly show you this list. Okay, past it. Let me have a look here. I don't like looking through your screen sometimes. I like to look at it directly, because with my eyes, it seems to play out. Yeah, I went past it. Because humans are not that great. You can't see everything at once and all that kind of crap. And so we have these little malfunction moments, and that's going to be normal. Right? And then we want to bring in something that won't. Right? They won't like those little malfunction moments you have. As we have the species, right? Definitely if we overwork. There you go. See you later.